Welcome to Dr. Spec. I'm Pablo, and this is going to be a kind of a different video. I wanted to talk about the 3D printing that we've done for this project, for this bike. Currently, we've done the side molds for the bike. I've worked designing and printing some bushings for the tank, as well as some headlight support. So I'm just going to talk about real quick and show you some clips, how we designed and how we printed those. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed the next clips we have for you, and I'll see you in the next one. I wanted to start by the sides of the bike because it's one of the first things that I did here, and I wanted to show you real quick why I did it and how I did it. But just for starts, this is how the bike used to look like. There's no rust or patina there, so it's kind of a while ago, and also doesn't have a handlebar or anything. So when we started to put the tank and the seat on the bike, as you can see, the frame is already done. I noticed this specifically. So if you can see, this support here is for the swing arm, and it kind of looks like something is missing there, and I don't quite like that. It's like it looks incomplete, even though it's kind of the style to be rugged and everything. I kind of like that the parts work together and they feel cohesive, whatever that feels, that they work together. So this part here looks fully incomplete, and I didn't like that. If you can see here, you can tell that there's something missing, especially because the tank finishes here like straight line, and here as well. So something was missing. So the first thing I did was design a part and just print it, and it was a straight piece here, and it's printed in two pieces. It's actually right here. I have it right here. So it's printed in two pieces, and there, it's printed in two pieces, and then I just pasted it to put it on. It broke afterwards, but it's just a prototype, like a PLA printed prototype. Oh, I forgot to tell you, but everything I designed is on Blender, and everything I print is on this Creality K1C. So back to the designs. I designed this part. I like that it filled the space, but I didn't like the design itself. So I just started experimenting with something else, and that something else was making it a little curve, like making it follow the curve that I could see from the tank to this lower support. And after a couple of versions, wasting a lot of PLA material, I came up with something like this. It doesn't have that hole that is that one that goes in that bolt, because I realized that on the bottom there I have there's two metal tabs that also have this rubber on them. So I thought that just making sure that fits tightly, snugly there, and with that hole being able to fit there. And by the way, this design copies the design, so I just wanted it to be cohesive. So I designed that part, and this is all PLA. The last version is gonna be, or is, ASA, which is this one, and ASA is a lot more strong, it's a lot better looking, but we're still gonna carbon skin that. So I ended up with a design like this one. So as you can see, it kind of follows this curve here as well as this curve here. It's not the best one, it's not the best looking, but it kind of, it's good enough. Like, it kind of works. That's, you know, the motto for us. So it's good enough. So I just wanted to make sure now that this fit snugly. So the way I did it inside, I 3D printed just the bottom parts like this, and just started to fit them. there, because I did take some measurements and everything, but with some calipers and stuff, but it was better to just try, take a picture, and then in the 3D software just redesign everything. And I came up with something that looks a lot more snugly, fits really snugly. This is really big, so this one is kind of one of the last ones. And then I just used this design to finish up improving everything, and I ended up with something like this. As you can see, the bottom part has a recess in it because it fits better with the way that this part is, the metal part is. And also it has the battery compartment now, so this now fits or holds the battery as well. This is going to be the right part of the bike, so this one holds the battery. Sorry, I had you sideways. Yeah, there's that. And this is printed on ASA. This is the final one. So the other side is gonna have these tabs, so I can put some wiring here and just use some I forgot the name of it, with plastic. Then you can put it on. I had a mental fart and I don't remember the name, but yeah, that is just to hold the cables there and make sure everything is kind of it looks good basically. So like I told you guys, I have a lot of waste here right now, and I just need to, I'm still missing one of the last pieces, the left one. The right one is the one that I told you had the battery on it, and I'll put some clips on how we printed that.
Hi, I'm Danny. Well, not him, me, behind the camera. We do not actually have those clips because someone forgot to record them, so they don't exist. So yeah, sorry about that, and hope you enjoy the video. Bye bye. Oh, sorry for the fourth wall break. So yeah, here you go. Whoosh.
And how the printer works for us, and maybe even some of the designs that we've done. The other thing I was working with designing and printing was the bushings for the tank, and those are printed on TPU, which is flexible and which works pretty much like rubbers. Probably not as resistant, but I still want to try because it's something I haven't done, and it's kind of part of what we do, is we do things to learn new things. The fuel tank requires bushings to be mounted at the front, and I'll put them at the back as well, just to keep it steady and avoid some maybe problems on the sensors or something for vibrations. But the way I mounted it at the beginning, just to try and see how it would fit, it was with these. These were bushings for something else that I just cut, and uses as something for the meantime. To make sure I could torque it, I used this plastic piece that I just made fit in at the back right here, and then I'll use this bolt that goes through both, and basically this goes on one side of the frame, this goes on the other side of the frame, and the supports for the tank go here. Basically that's the thing. So that's just I don't know if you can tell, but that's, I just cut it basically with a knife, right? So I just made it fit. Since I know now that it fits, I 3D printed this in TPU. TPU is even used in some gaskets, so I'm pretty sure we won't have any problems with temperature, or that it will work, so I think it would be fine. This is how I designed this, and I used Blender for this part, the same as every single part that I 3D designed of this bike, basically just because it's free. So I started it with a regular cylinder, started making the necessary cuts in it, then made sure the flat is bottom. It's a very simple shape. After this, I just beveled the top part to make it easier to install the tank on it, and used a subdivider to make it look smoother. After that, once I was happy with the shape, just took it into exported it to STL, and then took it to the slicer. Well, 3D printed in a K1C. I am actually 3D printing right now the other one. That's the second part at the other side of it. So this one basically replaces this one. I did make it a little bit bigger just because, but it's like marginally bigger. It's like less than a millimeter or something like that, or yeah, less. That's basically because I needed this one to go a little bit further because this had a little play in it, and I made it a little bit bigger there because I did 3D print. Then this other, I felt one fell, but this other bushing, this is a solid one. This is made from PETG, so it's very sturdy. It's solid as well. I printed it solid, and this actually fits in here. So this will let me give it some torque to it without compressing the bushing with the force of the bolt. There you go. So this should not flush there. I'm just going to push it a little bit more then, but I'll check on that later. And then I just put either that one in there. This should fit because I made it for that one, or this one that goes with the bolt. Also, the one that I already have, this plastic part, had a lot of play with the bolt here. So it already had a lot of play. So since I 3D printed this one at my specifications, I did a little bit tighter. This way I don't have that much play like I did when I was using this one, because this had play within the bolt itself. I don't know if you can tell very well. I'm trying to hold it, and if you do that, that's a lot of play. But also it had a lot of play within this bushing here. So it had plays. It had some play here as well as inside for the bolt. So it never probably fitted, or you couldn't really maybe align it, is the word I'm looking for. So with 3D printing everything myself at the specifications I want, I was able to just leave as much play as I wanted, basically. So that goes in there, and then it all goes here too, and I have something to hold. This will go into the frame like this. So here is where the tank is going to hold on to the front part of the frame. I did 3D print another bushing for the back part, but these are kind of rounded there, so it's easier to mount. The other ones are just square, and because that part, the rear of the tank just comes and rests on it, and then we got the bolt through. So that's simpler. That's it. And one of the other, or the third component that we were 3D printing is the headlight support, and it's basically because I didn't find any headlight support I wanted. The ones that I wanted didn't quite fit because it's too thin, the front shock is too thin, or way too expensive. So I finally decided I'm just gonna design one, and I did, and I 3D printed it, and it works good. I don't think I commented this on the other video, but I also needed somewhere to mount the blinkers, because the blinkers I had didn't work with the mirrors I had for the handlebar. So I decided to change the location of the blinkers. So I ended up designing one. I'm going to show you here. Please put the picture here, Danny. So we got this headlight for the bike, and we need to use the mounting points, and to do so I bought these two universal ones. I didn't quite like this, especially because I had to modify it a bit. It said it was the right diameter, but it wasn't, and I also had to bend that part to make it work with the difference between the fork and the distance in the headlight. I really like this headlight. I hope it looks good on the bike as well. It's black matte, and since I didn't like this, I wonder if I could 3D print one. So I designed this one just as a proof of concept actually, and it kind of worked. It's just this one that it's really flimsy because I made it just so to see if I could do it. And then after this one I designed this one. This one is a lot more sturdy. This is gonna work. Right now it's just PLA, but I'm gonna print it in SAA. That will allow me to work with a material that won't bend easily and also will withstand the temperatures, because this one PLA would usually deform under the sunlight, especially in summer. So I'm gonna print it in SAA, and I also added a space for these turn lights, so it looks like this. So I countersunk a little bit the nut there, so this would go like this with the headlight right here. So you basically go like that in the headlight, and then strut, and then this is the other part of it. So basically it would look, I'm gonna show it with this one, it would work something like this at the end of it, and it turned out pretty good actually. This part is where the turn light goes. This is where it's gonna go with the bolts right there, and I quite like it. And these holes both are made for M5s. I have these ones, I have a kit of these ones, but they need countersunk washers, so I also 3D printed some that they're gonna work for the different parts. Like this one I need to use a smaller one, or it doesn't look good, and there I can use a bigger one, so I 3D printed those as well. It's also gonna be SAA just to avoid it like deforming and everything. So I'm gonna put it on I'm gonna finish assembling this one right here, and I'm gonna put this one, I'm gonna put everything on the bike, and I'll show you this.
Hello there, me again. We don't really have an outro clip as we usually do for our videos, so this is it. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.